Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the world. I hope this finds you well. And welcome to Ski Bum Trading, providing you with tools and insights to sharpen your edge on the icy slopes of the markets. Feel free to like and subscribe, and if you enjoy the content and want more detailed analysis, consider joining the Ski Bum Trading Discord server. Link for that is in the description below. We're going to look today at the Kaspa chart. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart. We're going to look at the USDT dominance chart as it correlates with cycle peaks on Bitcoin. We're going to look at the Kaspa Bitcoin chart as well. So the first piece of news that I think is optimistic for Kaspa is that we have reached what could potentially be, in hindsight, after this plays out, a level of high time frame support. Right here, we can see that Kaspa is approaching its, and more or less already touched it, the 50-week SMA, which has never occurred until this past week. Bitcoin has interacted with its 50-week moving average, of course. We can go back in time and kind of see how that has played out, at times below it, at times above it. Generally, it's above it longer than it is below it. And it can at times provide support. It at times acts as resistance. Given where Kaspa is at this point, potentially still undervalued, I think that the odds are higher that this acts as high time frame support. I think it's pretty bullish right here. Of course, that is more obvious in hindsight if it ends up playing out. In the moment, you are taking on risk if you end up purchasing here. So anyway, Kaspa has at other points felt like it feels here. I remember at this moment here, people were projecting potential Wyckoff distributions. I remember right here, people were drawing projections such as this, where price was going to put in a peak here and then head back down towards the 5 cent level. Of course, that didn't play out. We can obviously see that price ended up setting a new high, and now it has kind of come back down to the bottom of the range where people are just waiting for the floor to fall out beneath them. And so we'll see how this plays out. I think that the fact that Kaspa has reached its 50-week might indicate a good value right here as well. It's also obviously below the bull market support band, and so that has indicated a good value so far. Given with the as long as Kaspa continues its uptrend, this will continue to be a good value. So now we also have the 50-week coming in here, which might act as additional support. We'll see how that plays out. We also have, of course, the Kaspa Bitcoin pair, which is worth keeping an eye on. We have it set up in Satoshis, currently at 241 Satoshis, and now it's back testing again this trend line here. So it may once again act as support. I'm hoping it does, and I hope that bleeds over into the USD pair, and that will just add some confluence to what I already showed here with the 50-week and price being below the 20 and 21-week moving averages as well. So we might have multiple factors here aligning to indicate some bullish momentum. And of course, usually there's fear that comes in when things are most bullish. To be in the mindset where fear is bullish kind of goes against our programming. So If you're buying the euphoria when price is straight up here, maybe it's time to rethink your strategy and look at moments this, such as this as bullish. Um, of course, of course, you have to consider the technicals as well, and also use your common sense and maybe understanding of fundamentals to kind of have a well-rounded perspective on all of that. Um, and then looking at the this USDT dominance chart, really, really interesting to note that all the macro peaks on Bitcoin have come in when the UST dominance was smacking into this trend line down here. And so we saw that here in July of 2019. We saw that here in April of 2020, or sorry, February of 2020, just before COVID, as well as even the previous cycle peaks. Both of them came in when the dominance of USDT was touching this trend line. So, thinking about this, we're not we're not super high, we're not super low, we're somewhere in between. So the market currently is pretty indecisive. Um, I'm personally hoping, I'm personally hoping that what I hope plays out is that the Bitcoin continues up higher, and that USDT dominance heads lower, and then that way we feel good about exiting the market somewhere up here, while dominance heads down. Of course, I have kind of more specific targets of where I would like to see Bitcoin reach. Um, and as far as on like a smaller time frame here on Bitcoin, really interesting. We have this descending channel here. Some people are drawing these more um, let's see, some people are drawing these broadening wedges here. I see, but I like prefer to look at this as a parallel channel simply because the top portion of this range is very linear, and that we can just extend it down here and kind of see how the average of these lows is somewhere coming in on this low end right here, with this maybe being an outlier and more of a spring. And right now back testing this midline again. And if we look at previous examples of this, we can kind of see, well, here's a horizontal, more of a, sideways range where price ended up breaking out above. Um, Also, interestingly enough, comparing the bottom in 2019, 2020, to price action right now, we had this bit of a parallel range right here with this outlier, the COVID wick down. I mean, what if this wick here, which again was based in some extreme FUD, I believe we had um, some warring happening coming in right here, and price broke down and it reached the 50-week moving average. It has popped up. Um, it doesn't look, structurally too different than this. It's a little more sideways, but we'll see. We can even go back even further here. We can look at this. Um, we had a we had a channel. We had a channel. Eventually it broke out. It back tested this midline. It continued to break out, got above the 50-week moving average, and then boom, the rest was history there. So we get down. Here's a spring. Here's a spring. Eventually it got up above the midline. It back tested the top portion. It was above the 50-week. Boom. All right, so we're above the 50-week here. We're currently back testing the midline. If we continue to break out above here, back test the top portion, boom, perhaps we were off. Let's zoom out and see what that looks like. It's possible. So if you look at it that way, I think it's possible. Um, of course, you know, if we break down to the lower side, and that can happen as well. So just taking it all as it comes. No crystal ball here. It could break down here. It could backtest this and then um, break down below the 50-week and the lower end of this range. But we do see those as support. They are levels that I pointed out, or potentials that I pointed out in the last video I uploaded 3 weeks ago, where we were at the bottom of this range and it looked like we were going to at least come up to backtest the midline, or we were going to get above it and then hold it and then continue up. Currently, um, yeah, when I put out this video, um, let's see, when was the date on that? In any case, price was just touching the 50-week for the second time. So it came up above it. It pumped up almost to the top, and then it is now back testing. And now we'll see if it falls through, if it continues up. And because the stablecoin chart is somewhere in between, it's not down on the trend line. I'm less convinced that this here, what we're seeing, I'm less convinced that this is a peak, right? So I'm still quite bullish here. I'm hoping that it does do this sort of breakout, and we have blue skies ahead, and we don't end up seeing some sort of breakdown. Um, these are two potentials, so we hope that it goes up. And then as far as Kaspa goes, we hope that Kaspa goes up as well. I'm still very bullish on it fundamentally, and I think that it's undervalued. So I think that it can continue its run, and I think it's bullish that everyone is feeling the boredom here. I think that having gone sideways for almost a year now, not doing much while some other coins are getting pumped, and people are starting to feel like they're missing opportunities and potentially selling their Kaspa, is only going to fuel the next push higher. The targets for me on the next swing remain to be, above 50 cents. We get somewhere up here, you know, we can get up here, I'm thinking we're getting higher, potentially closer towards 50 cents, potentially even higher than that. And, simply because we're looking at those higher fibs, I think that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Um, we have examples of Caspa reaching the top end of these Fibonacci's in the past, extensions, and I think that it can actually reach higher. So it's just a matter of time. The sideways accumulation, it may even be manipulated by certain entities like maybe centralized exchanges who are acquiring liquidity and actually have the capital to kind of ping pong price somewhat and affect things. So it's possible it's happening in the background. Can't rule it out. You don't know. People who have enough capital to basically paint the chart like a artist is painting, oil on a canvas. It happens, right? It does happen. Just look at the theory behind the Wyckoff accumulation distribution. Richard Wyckoff, who wrote wrote about the psychology of the markets, and that the large interests essentially um, are able to affect the retail trader simply by creating certain patterns that on the chart cause the uneducated trader and investor to act very emotionally and basically do the opposite of what makes rational sense. Because we all know you want to buy low and sell high. But when you fear that price is breaking down right here because it's losing support, and that it's, oh, it's doing a Wyckoff distribution here and it's coming down to this level of support, of course we know that this isn't what happened. It's just not what happened. Um, this actually held as support. It set a new high, and now it's simply going to be resting on this area right here, right? So it's simply now resting here instead. And again, sentiment is very, for some people, very negative, and people are bored. They feel like they're missing out. And that's a time to pay attention. That's a time to pay attention. We see it in anything of value. Select an asset that's valuable, and then just um, then it's time to think about when it might be on sale. So, is it on sale here? Only time will tell. I feel bullish. I look at this chart and I think that I don't think we're at a peak. I look at this and I see a back test here, and this has the potential to hold. I see this and I think it kind of looks like this. Maybe this spring here, this spring here are similar moment. And this might be just a sideways channel that eventually will get flipped, back tested, and then off to the races. So I'm feeling bullish on the market still. I, of course, am hedged with just not relying on the markets, and I get in. I'm a swing trader. If you don't follow me and you're not aware of what I do, I get into the markets at the lows, and I have receipts to prove it that I was buying here and that I sold here. And so I plan to offload my um, what I accumulated in here. I plan to sell it hopefully at the next cycle peak. Do I think it's here? I don't know. It's not worth it for me. Even if price comes down, even if price comes down here and then it ends up moving back higher, I'll just wait, I'll just wait for that. I'm not going to do anything if price comes back down here other than I'll just extend my time horizon, because I don't think, you know, for price to come down here and then do this for the next 5 or 10 years, I would be extremely unhappy about that, disappointed. But that's just my strategy to just not rely on the markets. And I have a very long uh, time horizon. Um, And in any case, because I bought down here, even if price came down here, I would still be in the green. So that's how I personally navigate the markets, just with a very high time frame perspective. It's not for everybody. Um, eh, Everyone has their preference, and some people demonize the other for different preferences. For example, like day traders think that hodlers or whatever um, are just out to lunch, just like stupid. Um, but at the same time, I don't think anyone's really like stupid, as if they're informed and that what they're doing makes sense, and that they're actually um, not losing money. So there's different ways to make money. And I think if you are not if you're buying indiscriminately over time with money you can't afford to lose, then you're just acting recklessly, and it's kind of dumb. But if you are waiting until prices are, at clear discounts, historically, you can obviously just see based on moving averages where the discounts are, and then acting based on that and then getting in the market and just waiting a couple years if you need to buy coins you bought at the 200 week, when price is just extended way above the 50 week, right? So price comes way up here above the 50 week. You bought stuff below the 200 week. Even if it took a couple years, say that was in 2022, and then it's 2025 and prices up here 150K. You waited a few years to make easy money while doing other things, barely, not day trading, not losing sleep because you were day trading on leverage. So it's different strokes for different folks, as the saying goes. And I think that you have to do what makes sense to you. And if you want to day trade. If you want to swing trade on a high time frame, and have a little bit of strategy with how you do it, and have a long-term mindset, then do that. That's what I prefer to do. So my channel is more geared towards those types of people. I'm not going to be saying, hey, um, let's let's sometimes I will, honestly, but not always, because I prefer to, spend my time doing other things. But hey, I'm not always saying, hey, let's short it right here. Let's buy it right here. Let's short it right here. Let's buy it right here. Although, I very much am aware of those things. I point those out on, in the Ski Bum Trading Discord server. We look at these sort of channels and all that stuff. So different strokes for different folks. If you want to do that sort of thing, back even in July, we were watching this channel, just to give an idea. I provide all these charts in the Discord server. So if you want to see that sort of stuff, I don't necessarily. Sometimes I partake, not always. Again, I'm more long-term trader, high time preference, getting at the bottoms and at the peaks of the cycles. But if you're interested in my charts, you can join the Ski Bum Trading Discord server, and it's available via the Patreon. The Patreon provides the invite link, and that's available in the description underneath the YouTube video. So anyway, additionally, yeah, we're just watching Bitcoin. We're watching the Kaspa Bitcoin pair. We're watching the stablecoin uh, chart, and hopefully, the markets remain bullish. I'm not convinced yet that things are going to flip super bearish, as difficult as the news is in the markets. We'll see how it all pans out. And additionally, just a quick shout out to Tangem wallets. You can self custody on a card that you can carry with you in a pocket, and use the Tangem app on your phone to have cold wallet features where requires a physical item in the real world to send your crypto, but easily enough to hold it in your wallet and access it on the go. I use that. You can use the JIM promo code on any order on their website to get that. They also are coming out with a ring you can wear and tap right on the phone as well, which is pretty awesome. So that's pretty exciting. So check that out. Um, you can use that, and these are amazing. You can very simply put in this promo code Jim, 10% off. I highly recommend it. It's what I use, what I travel with, and very convenient. So with that said, hopefully this whole um, video was educational for you, and feel free to drop any comments below. I wish you all the best in your trading journeys and make educated, informed decisions. I'll try to read any comments you drop and respond to them. And of course, if you want to chat with me daily and see my charts, feel free to join the Ski Bum Trading Discord server. Link for that's going to be in the description below. And hope this helped. Be well, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.